Shank Racing, welcome to Pole Position. Welcome back to Long Beach. It's Saturday for Outlet Media. I'm Jackson Lambros. Welcome back to the Grid Network. We're recapping everything for today for the NTT Data INDYCAR Series, tomorrow's upcoming ACURA Grand Prix of Long Beach. Felix Rosenqvist, or Front Row Fro. We've said this numerous times already. Started out in the front row at St. Petersburg, showed a lot of pace at Thermal Club, and for the first time ever for Mike Shank Racing, Felix Rosenqvist has gotten this car to pole position. Let's hear from him at the press conference.
Yeah, it's honestly a bit unexpected. I didn't think I had it. I mean, I know that everyone's so on it here, especially considering Q2, how tight it was. I was like, I gotta have to nail it. And I had a big moment out of 5. I don't think I lost a lot of time, but I was still worried because we finished quite early as well. So we were just sitting in the car waiting forever. But yeah, so excited to get it. Just a couple of thousands in front of Will. That's always means a lot to beat this guy for pole, for sure. He's got a couple under his belt. So hugely proud of our partners, Auto Nation, Series XM, Honda. They've done a phenomenal job all weekend. And yeah, man, it's tight out there. Just you gotta be your best self every lap out there.
In the last.
So Felix Rosenqvist, we are seeing potentially his first win since 2020 here if we make this happen. But Matt, if you show the camera here, we got to talk about who else is on the front row here, and that's Will Power for Team Penske. Mr. Saturday himself made this one of the closest front rows in IndyCar history, the closest in street course racing history, just 0.0039 seconds separating the two in first and second. And from what I heard with Will Power, it sounded like he had nothing left to give with that car. Let's hear from him now at the press conference.
That's actually been the story of like the last 2 years. I was actually one of the data engineers was saying, if we added up all the time you've missed getting in the Fast Six up over the last whole season, it'd be 2/10, like the whole season. And at St. Pete, I missed the Fast Six by 21 thousandths. What's this one?
39 10,000ths of a second.
39 10,000. Just keep getting close. One day I'm just not going to be that far. It's going to be the other one. I'm going to be a bunch of poles by 21 thousandths of a second. Because it ebbs and flows. That's sort of my experience over the time.
Rough weekend so far for Arrow McLaren. Alexander Rossi remains the quickest of those 3 cars, but it's still outside of the Fast 12. I want to say 13th or 14th for them. Pato right behind them. And of course, Theo Pourchaire, Formula 2 reigning champion, still struggling to really get up to pace with these cars. He's been thrown in such the deep end here. Let's talk about what should be their full-time driver, David Malukas, and a really interesting quip from Jenna Fry earlier. Gavin Ward, team principal, stated that the timeline here has not been crystal clear for when he'll be back in this car, and we could come to a point where McLaren has to talk about their future and that taking the priority, and David could ultimately not be a part of that. That's not to say that David Malukas doesn't belong in IndyCar, because I think objectively he does. He's shown his strength on and off the ovals, and is overall, I think, personality-wise, fantastic for this sport. But this always seemed like a kind of odd pairing, if you will. Nothing against David, nothing against these guys for making this move, but it didn't feel natural to begin with. But I still hope that we see David Malukas in a IndyCar that isn't from 1972 at Sonoma. Andretti Autosport still showing pace. However, Kyle Kirkwood not a part of that equation. Both Marcus Ericsson and Colton Herta making it into that Fast 6. They'll be starting, of course, in the top 6. Alex Palou looked like he was going to be the guy to beat in the third session, Fast 12. Ultimately ended up pretty much slowest of the 6. He'll be starting, obviously, in 6th place. But other than that, that is pretty much it from us here at Long Beach. We will see you, of course, tomorrow for the race itself. And I'm sure you guys are probably watching this live here. Enjoy Grid After Dark. Enjoy the Chinese Grand Prix. Enjoy NASCAR Cup Series for Talladega. Again, you can follow me at jackson.lambros on Instagram. Follow us and our work here at Outlap at Outlap Media Official. And for all things IndyCar, Formula 1, NASCAR Cup Series, all things on 4 wheels and 2 wheels, stay to the grid.